अच्छा هذا يكون هو يسمى पाठशाला वो कितने हैं headphone.
Yeah, just before I start off, I just again repeat the ground rules. Please mute your mics. And please, I can just hear some background noises. Please mute your mics. And also, if you have any kind of queries, any doubts, or any challenges you're facing technically, please type on the chat board, because my other team members would definitely assist you. So today I'm Sina, joining in from Bangalore. I'll be leading the webinar. I'm also being assisted by Mr. Esaki Muthu, the teacher ambassador from Chennai. He'll be in the back end recording and answering your queries. So hello, good evening, and before I start off, thanks a lot, because for the past 4 sessions we have seen amazing energy, enthusiasm, fulsome participation and perseverance from your end, and we are kind of coming to an end. So this is the last series of the summer Pathshala, and we would be ending it with a game. Yes, so let's start off. As I said, this is a scenario which I think we all would relate to. As a student, I have been in this situation many often, and I'm sure as a teacher you face these situations. So when learning becomes very dull because they are not engaged, they are not motivated, they are just totally disinterested, they have completely cut off. So what do? Then I feel that it's time for you to introduce a game. Because there is a common perception that all learning should be serious and solemn in nature, and that if one is having fun and there is laughter, then it's not really learning. But I'm sure we all would like to disagree, because many games which we have played in our childhood, we may dismiss it as fun or something, an escape from learning. But when you take a closer look at many of those games children play, they are actually quite complex learning environments that develop a variety of skills. It can be social, emotional skills, problem-solving skills, communication skills, creativity, critical thinking. And these are the same skills, we call it as 21st century skills, we try to impart in our students every day. So let me just introduce Kodu. And as I said, this is why we must introduce game-based learning in the classrooms. And talking about Kodu, I would not like to see it as just a game. It's not just a shooting and racing a game. I would like to call it as another form of text, which teacher can use it effectively, maybe to explain a concept, maybe for storytelling activities, or to model some ideas creatively. Because this is one programming game where you can create and play without writing a code. The language is extremely simple. It's because you don't have to write any code. No programming language can get more simpler than this. So those who are very familiar with Java, C++, you know how many codes you will have to write. The language is extremely simple, very straightforward. And there are so many visual tiles, you just have to click and just select it, put it, and the program will run. That guarantee there is no previous programming expertise required. So it is welcome in all subject classes. And typically it is most suitable for ages 8 and up. And I'm sure in today's participants, no one is below age 8, and whoever is 8 and below, maybe they can leave this room and play hide and seek. Yes. So let's meet Kodu. Originally, the Microsoft named it as Boku. This name Kodu comes from an Estonian word, and it means home. So feel at home. Very simple. Kodu is a very simple, straightforward guy. So no complexity involved, and it's not, let me just reiterate, it's not something which you must use only in computer classes, because you don't need any programming expertise. It's so simple and intuitive to learn. Every subject teacher when he or she is selecting a topic or trying to explain some concept, this tool must be at the back of your mind. This is another option for you. Can I use Kodu more effectively, to engage my learners, to explain the concepts more beautifully, and to add in few challenges? Can I use this tool? So this should be at the back of the mind of any subject teacher. Let me reiterate. Hope I'm audible. Hope you are able to view my slides. Are you facing any issues? Hope it's going.
No, ma'am. You're audible also, and the PowerPoint is also visible.
Thanks a lot.
Everything is clear.
So that's what I said. If you are an English teacher, please, that's only one idea of mine. I'm sure that a lot of English teachers are out there and they would have more inputs and ideas. Please do share with us. I would say it can be definitely used as a creative writing because you create beautiful 3D worlds with the help of Kodu. So if you are dealing with a topic or if you're reading aloud a book, using that description, they can create a world. And for Max teachers, definitely, it's extremely helpful. You can, that's just two of my ideas. I'm sure you will have countless ideas. One is problem solving adventure games. Maybe you can just create a basic math quiz. And the options are unlimited. Any lessons on citizenship, or you want to teach geography in a more engaging manner, maybe just you can create a model of a town being studied. That's what I've added in. You want to teach them more about the different landscape, plateau, valleys. Rather than showing a video, maybe if you can just help them to create a Kodu game. I'm thinking it will be more fun, but they learn a lot in a fun, engaging manner. Next is about science teachers. They can also use it. They're basically the advanced features of Kodu can be used to discuss all the principles of physics, whether it be primary grades, middle grades, higher grades, or maybe incorporate elements of biology. Now, I have got an idea. Why don't you use Kodu? Kodu can move through different systems of the body and inform you about that part of the body. Or you can tell the story of an endangered species. Or maybe you can run a campaign with the help of Kodu. And if you just go to the Kodu game sites, a lot of campaigns on water pollution, on extinction of species, so many campaigning topics have been taken up by students and teachers alike. And they have created a game and uploaded it. And mind you, most games are not just created by primary grade or middle grade. Many games are created by higher grade students and also even adults. So these are the steps. Let me just get on to the steps. But before I start off, let me say today I have not created a live demo video because Kodu is not that webinar friendly, can just get stuck or hang. So I don't want to take that risk. So what I have done is mostly screenshots. And I regret to say that I had to delete few screenshots too because I had to reduce my file size to 10 MB. But hopefully it will be more clearer. What I have done is that I created a simple game and I have created a video. I'll be uploading it to the YouTube tonight and I'll be sharing the link. So when you are doing an assignment on Kodu and if you're getting few doubts, you're getting stuck, you can watch my video. So the first step is build a colorful 3D world. That's the first step. You have so many tools, so many options available. You can create an amazing world. And that's something which students love to spend hours on it. Let them do that. Second step would be putting characters into the world.
I'm able to join this.
And the third step, I would not like to use the term programming because it's a very simple programming tool. I would just tell once you create a world, you put the characters must interact with each other. They must have some actions to it. So that's what you will program. And that's in a very simple manner. The fourth step is making the program run. So that's why I think this is a very collaborative activity. You can divide your classrooms into teams. One team can take up the building the landscape, who is more into creativity, who has a very higher aesthetic sense. They can decide on how my landscape will look like. The second team can decide on the character, the plotting, the game strategy, what will be the actions of characters, how many characters would be there, would they be, definitely there should be a true character, main character, an opposing character, how many characters, and would there be any conflicts, how they will win over that conflicts. That will be one team. The third team can take over the writing the codes. Not necessarily writing the codes. You just have to select few types and just let the program run. And the slightly geekish team can take care of the running part. So it's basically a very team activity, collaborative activity. And let me reiterate, as teachers, there is no necessity for you to really deep dive and have an in-depth knowledge, because your role will be more of a mentor and a facilitator. You need to have the basic features and you need to just guide the students. Maybe you can try this, you can just try that out, because you just leave this tool to a student's hands, they will create magic over there. I'm just trying to simplify further. If there are those teachers who are still not comfortable with this programming or gamification in classroom, you just imagine your Kodu. Yes, and you're sitting in a chair in the middle of the room. And that room is actually the 3D world. But the fact is that you're blindfolded. And there are so many objects have been placed in different spots in that room. You are in the middle of the room, you're blindfolded, and there are so many objects around you. Now you have to go and find and pick up objects. How do you do that? So every action you need to, because Kodu is, as I said, it's very obedient. It's not a sulky or a rebellious teenager. Most obedient character you can meet in your life. So you just, outline all the actions it has to do. Maybe it has to act, it has to react, it doesn't have to react at all. Just give them the directions, it will just do it accordingly. So that is what exactly all this Kodu is all about, and I think it's extremely simple, nothing complex about it. Only our mind creates complexity about this game. But this game is as simple as playing a simple game. So next, let's just go to as I said, it will be mostly screenshots. Are you following me? Any queries, any doubts? Because there is no live demo. I don't mind pausing maybe for 2-3 minutes and clear the doubts then and there. So hope you're fine. You're got a basic idea of what the Kodu is all about. The steps are very important to create a 3D world, put the characters into the world, tell the characters to behave, because these characters will not be able to do anything on their own, and then finally make the program run. So this is how it is. When you just go to the kodugamelab.com, you see this page. You have to click on New World. So that is where you will start off your first step of creating a landscape. To be familiar with this page, when you just open, there is an inbuilt patch of island. Okay? And maybe sometimes it so happens this patch of island, it will only appear half. It may be in some corner. So you want to refocus, you can press the F4 button, or please select the green hand tool. So that is now highlighted. Whenever you highlight or you place your cursor on a particular tool, that you see a yellow bracket. That means you have selected that tool. So if you want to refocus, sometimes you want to zoom in, you want to zoom out, you want to bring the landscape forward, backwards, sideways. You just want to change the size and the location. Please use a F4 button, or you have to click on the green hand tool. Now let me just make you familiar with the toolbar. Let me remind you, this is not the live page. The toolbar appears on the lower side. And just because I'm not doing a demo, I have just taken a screenshot, a little bit more zoomed in, and I put it on the top side. But actually, in reality, the toolbar appears on the lower side. So you can see, just one sec. So you can see so many icons. One is the home tool, which I think everyone is very familiar with. I do not have to explain about it. You have the green triangle. That is how you play a game. So you just click on it. Even that I don't need to explain. This third icon, that's where we start off. We need to be extremely familiar with. The first step when you have to create a 3D world, you first refocus the landscape. There is a built-in landscape. You please select the green hand tool and refocus. Currently I have just put it on the center. Maybe you want to keep it on to the left side and the right side, do that. So that is why you choose green hand tool. Now please be very careful about it. When you do these assignments, you will have to use these tools and you will have to submit the screenshots. So if you're a little bit not clear about any tools, please ask me to pause. I will just clear then and there itself. So to refocus your landscape, use the green hand tool. Then comes the fourth icon.
Ma'am, can you please come again with the precaution you was talking about that we are supposed to take? Can you please once again come with that?
Which one? Which precautions?
Just before beginning with all these tools, you said.
You mean that I asked you to refocus?
Yeah. Just once again, if you can come up with the point.
Green hand. See the green hand. Have you seen that green hand icon?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
An arrow. Yeah, that's also called. There's another name called move camera. But to make it more student friendly, we say green hand. Yeah, rather than saying move camera, you say green hand. Green hand will help you to change the location or the size of the landscape. Fine?
All right.
And then comes the fourth icon, very, very useful, which we all will use it often if you are creating a game in Kodu. It has a Kodu character icon, but that's called object tool. So that's the tool where you can put many objects, many characters. It can be plants, trees, stars, sky, fruits, some vehicles. The sky is the limit. There are too many options for that. So that's what you use object tool. Now, maybe you need to create a path in that game. Maybe it's a game where the characters are moving fast. So you need to put a path so they don't fall off the path. Then you choose the fifth icon, that is the path tool, which I will not be covering in this session because it's slightly advanced. I will be mostly focusing on object tool and the other tools. Next comes another important, just like object tool, we need ground brush, because that is where you change the color of the landscape, you change the texture of the landscape, so you need ground brush. So ground brush, are you all clear with that? That is a green thing. This is the ground brush. So this is the green hand tool. This is that object tool. This is the path tool. This is the ground brush tool. Now, when you say ground brush tool, more icons will pop up. One is different kind of brushes, just like you have the draw tools in OneNote. You have rounded brush. If you want to give a rounded edge, you choose a rounded brush. You want to choose square brush. There are brushes of different sizes. You also have different colors. The colors will be in the form of cubes. We call it as color cubes, and there are close to 120 to 125 color cubes the students can choose the colors from. So you use the brush to color the landscape and also to select the brush size. So what you do is you select that ground brush. You have to left click your mouse and you just paint the landscape. Got it? The next one is I have painted my landscape. Now I may have, it's too flat. I'm definitely, a landscape will not be this flat. It will be undulating. It may have hills. It may have valleys. It may be slightly jagged, spiky. So you want to just change the texture of your landscape. You please select the next icon, that is the up or down. So you can create hills, you can create valleys, you can raise the bed of the landscape. Still, if you want to flatten it further, like you are creating a lake bed, you just want to, you create maybe a portion of the landscape should be flat, then use this flatten tool. If you want to create very, high-rise buildings, then you choose this roughen tool. I'm just trying again, just let me know. Okay. Okay, let me resume. I think there was some technical glitch. I'm extremely sorry. The flow got broken. Hopefully there will not be another glitch. So I just was talking about water tool. So if you want to create a lake, a river, a sea, ocean, you need to add water. So for that you need to select the water tool, and let me just remind you, without creating a land mass, you will not be able to add water. So first you will have to create a land mass, and then you need to decide maybe a portion of the landscape will have to be filled with the water. So then you need to select the water tool and you can add the water. The next icon is, it's not very important, the delete. If you want to delete the game, delete any tool which will not use it often. The most powerful tool which I would say is the last icon, the change world setting. So that is why this game is being used from, either from primary grades, middle grades, higher school students, and even adults. A lot of adults, if you go to the game site, many games are being uploaded by 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds. It's because of this last tool. You can add, there are so many amazing advanced features. Like you want to add lighting, you want to change the lighting, maybe you want to make a setting to set the mood and the tone of the game. You can use the last icon. You want to select the level of the water, you want to change the height of the water, you want to add timer, you want to make the game more advanced, very exciting. You use this tool. But for the beginners, I would suggest please play around with object tool, brush tool, the flatten, roughen tool, and water tool. That would be more than enough for you to create a simple game. Slide is not visible?
No, ma'am, it's the same.
How about now? Are you able to view the slide?
No, ma'am, it's the same home tool play game slide.
The 15th slide?
Tool palette.
Yes. Yeah, now is it edit landscape? Are you able to see that slide?
No. It's the same
No,
one.
only the 15th number slide.
It's a tool palette slide.
Okay, I'm just moving on to the next slide. Hope now, how was it?
No, the same slide. Tool palette. It's the same slide.
Yes, ma'am, it's tool palette only.
Yes. Now the edit landscape.
Because in my game, when I was just working on the game, I just, when I just opened the page, I saw that landscape. I used that move camera, the green hand tool, and I kind of changed the size and the location of that green landscape. And then I used, I did not use actually the brush tool. I did not use the brush tool to change the color of the landscape. I just used that brush tool to just give it a square edge. Then I used this create hills, and I create a little bit of hills. I a little bit flatten over it using the flatten tool, and because my game I had to create a sea, so I've also used the water tool. So just for the beginners, this is more than enough. Use this ground brush tool, make changes to the color of the landscape. Use this hill or valley tool, create hills and valleys, flatten it over here, and then use this water tool to add water. I think it's extremely simple, and whenever you're working on this page, you can see on the left side there are instructions for you. So you will not get confused. You can raise terrain, you can smooth terrain, lower terrain, you can undo, you can redo. So a lot of instructions do pop up on the left side. So you have these tools. If you're so confused also, don't worry. You can just hover your cursor on that particular tool and the instructions will come on the left side. So it's very easy. Even if you get stuck somewhere, you can just regain your composure. Don't worry about it. So now we have created a landscape. I have made few changes. I've added few hills, valleys. You've made changes to the color of the landscape. You've added water. Okay, and now what do you want? Okay, landscape is ready. The world is ready. Now what else? Now the next step is you need some characters. You need objects. So for that, you will have to select the most important tool, the Kodu character tool, which is also called as object tool. You click over there, click on that object tool. You get this kind of object wheel or like a giant wheel. And there is apple, rover, Kodu, rock, underwater, pipe, tree. Believe me, you have to just click on each object. You will get more options. Okay, if it's underwater, you get starfish, clam, rock, different kind of rocks. Rover, you get different kind of rovers. Tree, so you click on one object, you get more options further. So there are too many objects over there. Definitely you need a lot of objects because that's the sky's the limit. That's why I said any subject teacher would be able to, use Kodu tool in their classrooms. So I think you're familiar with now the objects. Just click on object tool, that's a Kodu character, and you get this kind of a Ferris wheel like object wheel, and you can click on each object, you get even more options. So please visit that game website and just explore these options. You'll just love it. You'll just get hooked onto it. Next slide is, this is what I've done. See, that same landscape I did was with the help of ground brush tool, I changed the color of that landscape. A part of it I made it lightly brown. I used the roughen tool and made the landscape slightly rough. So I've used almost all kind of tools, the ground brush tool. I have changed the color of the landscape. I've used the roughen tool. I've used the flatten tool over here. I've used that up and down create tool over here. I've also insert an object over here. So before you insert an object, make sure you select the landscape and then you click on this Kodu character and it will be automatically placed on the landscape. So this is how it is. I clicked on rover, the rover got inserted onto this landscape. So if I just select this rover, you get a lot of color options. You can change the color of rover. It can be like there are too many color options. So the students can even change the color of each object. So to change the color of the landscape, you select ground brush tool. To change the color of the character objects, you will have to just place your cursor on this object. So then you get a lot of color options. You must be very careful about that. Please do not go and press the ground brush tool, because ground brush tool, you stop there after you create your landscape. Then you don't use that to change the color. You only use that to change the color of the landscape. If you want to change the color of the object, place the cursor on the object and you get a lot of color options. Select that color. I'm sorry, I'm not able to show you a live demo, but hope it's clear. Next is we have created a landscape, we have put characters. Now the action starts. We want the characters to do some action. They have to interact, they have to see each other, they have to hear, they have to bump into each other. So many interaction must happen. For that, that's where the language starts. They should start speaking a language and we need to put the input in their language. It's very, very, very simple. Speak Kodu. What you do is, it's the characters who will behave. There's the characters who is going to speak or who's going to interact. So you just select that particular object, right click. When you right click on that object, you get an option called program. And when you click on program, you get these two tiles. That's all. That's all about if you want to do any kind of actions and reactions the character must do, you just manage it with just these two tiles. When tile, do tile. Simple as it. So please, once you create a character, select that character, right click on the character, you see something called program, then and there you can change even the many settings. You can delete that object, you can copy that object and clone it, you can change the size of the object, you want to rotate, you can change height, everything can be done before you program. Select on program and you get this options called when and do. It's extremely important. Maybe we'll have to delve another 5-10 minutes on this. To be familiar with when and do. If you get this correct, you can run the game beautifully. As I said, when means it's a condition. So when this particular, you have selected a particular character. So when this particular character sees something, that is called the condition, then what action it must do? It must do something. So that you focus on the do tile. Condition is on when tile. So there are a few examples. So just you'll have to remember this: when something has happened, do something. Please remember this. Without this, you will not be able to proceed further. So when you click on when options, as I said, you right click on the object, you get program, you select the program, you get these two tiles, when and do. And when you click on the when tile, as I said, this programming is icon based. Everything is visual tiles. There is no code to be written. So when you select on when tile, these are the options you have. Either you want it to touch something, you want it to see something, you want it to hear something, you want to bump into something, and that's the end. If you have created a path and it should reach the end of the path, you have to put a timer. Very important to make the game more exciting and engaging. You will have to put a timer. You have to put a scoreboard. So all this you can just add. You just have a click. That's it. So when Kodu sees this, that's the condition. You want to give more control to the user. Like, either there are two ways to go about it. One is the Kodu will do on its own. When you want the Kodu to do on its own, you will select these options: see, hear, end of path, timer, everything. If you want the user, you want more control to be given to the player, then you will select keyboard, mouse, so that they can play the game, they can navigate through the game using keyboard and mouse. So that's up to the player or up to the person who creates this game. So when you click on when tile, these are the options. Please explore, you'll just like it. So just focus on the left side, do not focus on the do tile. So these are the options. So for me as a creator of the game, this is my, this is how I've imagined. I want the Kodu to see an apple. So I just will have to go to when tile, click on when tile, I will select see, then I will select apple. That's it. So that means Kodu, you have set a condition for the Kodu, that Kodu, when it sees apple, now what does it have to do? That is up to me to decide whether it has to move forward, move backward, move north, south, east, west, sidewards, whether it has to just cry. You can add expressions, you can add directions, you can add many elements to Kodu using do tile. Here it's a very simple game. So see apple, the Kodu will have to move toward. So then I select move, I select toward. If I don't want it to move toward, I want it to move sidewards, I will just say move side. There's another one example. Each line, each code, when you select, it will be in terms of lines, and each line will be numbered. The second line, as I said, bump. I don't want the apple to just see. I just want to just touch it. When it touch it, I just wanted to eat it. So this is how you program it. It's as simple as it. You click on when tile, click on bump, click on apple. That's it. Then click on do tile. You just put in this tile eat, then eat. So it's up to you. Maybe you can say eat, do not eat it, or vanish it. There are so many options. It's up to you. You'll have to explore those when tile and do tile. That will add a lot of elements to the game. So this is what, when you click on do tile, the Kodu can, not only Kodu, it can be any character, rover, it can be a turtle, it can be a bird, it can be a clam, it can be, there are a lot of objects, characters out there. So you can make it move, you can make it turn, you can make it eat, you can make it shoot. So many options are over there. Hope you are clear. So this is how I think maybe you can just get familiar yourself with this when and do concept. So the first line is when a Kodu see apple, which
Hi, Sina, I can't see the video, the slides.
Second line.
of course, it's not it's definitely the second line of code. The first line of code, when a Kodu just sees a star, you have just given the instruction it has to eat it. When it, when it reaches that star, it has to eat it. And there's another line of code, when it reaches a star, it just doesn't have to eat it, it just have to move towards. So I think it's extremely simple. I think you'll just agree with me. You don't need any programming expertise, any computer background, if you have to use Kodu. So here, what I've done is, as I said, I'll be sharing this YouTube. I have just created the scenario, save an endangered species. And you know about the olive ridley turtles. The turtles are definitely on extinction. So here I've created very simple games. You can use the change world settings, the last icon in the toolbar, and make the games add more levels and make it more complex and more exciting. And more meaningful. But here just what I've done is my scenario is just save baby turtles by chasing and carrying turtles to the sea. How it is, for that, as I said, you will have to divide the classroom into teams. I think we are actually running short of time, so I'll just do it fast. First, you have to decide on the setting. What does the landscape will look like? Definitely, the hatching of eggs happens in a beach, so the landscape is a beach. So you will have to have a beach, and definitely you need to change the color of the landscape. The built-in landscape color is green. So using the brush tool, you change the color of to yellow, or maybe there are so many yellow options. You can select one, and then I used that up and down tool, flatten tool, roughen tool. I've raised that landscape, and then I used the water tool, and I added the water, and I've changed the color of the water, and it's optional. I've added clouds. And because usually this, the baby turtles migrating to the sea happens in the night, I have just changed the setting to darkness, which you can do as usual with the last icon in the toolbar, change world setting, which I said is the most powerful tool and makes Kodu extremely friendly for all age groups. So I have now decided on the landscape, then I decide on the characters, what all characters I need. I mean, I have just added only 3, but I'm sure as students would like to add more, they are free to do that. Or so first is a turtle, which you can by clicking on the object tool, you'll get turtle. I also need an object to save the turtle. Yeah. So because it's a whole concept about saving an ending. So in here I have selected a red Kodu. What I did is I just went to the object tool, I selected that Kodu character and I changed the color. Simple. The third object is to represent birds. Unfortunately, there is no bird character in that object option. So there is something called jet. So I have chosen, representing jet is representing the birds. These are only 3 objects I've added. As I said, the options are unlimited. You can add even more. You can add trees. You can make it more, lively and more meaningful. As I said, you will need to use the following skills: reflection, questioning, imagination, empathy, logical thinking. So this is what I've done. I think I don't have to repeat it. I created a landscape, I colored it, I used all the tools. I added the water and I used the last icon to change the height of the wave, the water strength. As I said, this last icon is extreme. It's my personal favorite. A lot of options: compass, water, lighting, different kind of atmospheres. You want extremely cloudy or a clearer sky, you can choose sky. Then dawn, dusk, midnight, early morning, you have the option to change the lighting settings. So I went to the object wheel, I selected the Kodu character tool, I selected turtle, so I got turtle from here and I added the turtle. This is a slightly an advanced feature because in this game the baby turtles are hatching. Okay, so it must appear in random. So if you want any objects to appear in random, then you choose something called creatable from, again, the last tool, change world settings. I'll just go back, this particular tool. You'll have to select this tool if you want to change the settings of the landscape. Then I chose creatable. I just limited the number of turtles to 5. I mean, you have options till 100. So it depends on the game you want to create. So this is how I also added a turtle. I added a red Kodu. I selected a Kodu. I changed its color. That's it. And then for birds, as I said, you don't have a bird exactly. So what I did is I just thought I'll just represent jet as a bird. That's it. So this is how a simple, further you can keep on exploring and you can change, make it more beautiful. I've added a sand-colored beach, a wave, and a bird, a red Kodu, which will rescue these baby turtles. So then I think the students in a team must ask questions. You will have to collect feedback. You may have to ask, what would be the first thing a baby turtle on beach would do? Will it move to the sea? Definitely not. Then it will wander around on the beach slowly? Yes. Definitely it's going to wander around on the beach slowly. So in that case, now we have created a landscape. You have added turtle. Now you want to move the turtle to the beach. But the turtle doesn't run. It actually crawls. So what I do is I right click on turtle. Then I select program. When I select program, I get those 2 tiles, when and do. And I click on when tile. So I click the option on land because the turtle is still on because it just hatched, it's on the beach. So I select the option when on land. What should the turtle do? The turtle, it should not just move because I want it to crawl. They're baby turtles. So I have given move. Again, I add slowly. I add slowly. I add slowly. I've added here 3 times slowly. It's up to you. There is no set format for all this. It's up to the creator. Now it has reached the sea. Now what do you want to do? when it's a very, the students will have to ask a lot of questions, critical thinking, creativity, communication skills, collaboration, so much of the 21st century skill is part of this activity. Now they need to ask how a turtle will behave when it is on water. It has to move quickly, because it's a water animal. So by instinct, it will move quickly. So then I have to program, I'll have to select when on water. That will come as a second line. That is the second action. The first action is it has crawled, it has reached the sea. The second action is when it reaches the sea, it has to move quickly, quickly, quickly. I think another 5 minutes, I would just stop it. And then definitely you need to program, you have to keep timers that it has to be in the water only for 3 seconds. For me, I've just kept just 3 seconds. So I have in the when tile, there is an option called timer. And the timer, there are so many options. I just selected 3 seconds. And in the do, I selected vanish me. That means the turtle will vanish. When it reaches sea, it will vanish within 3 seconds. Next, that's all about turtle. The turtle crawls on the beach. It reaches the sea. Within 3 seconds, it vanishes. I just put 3 lines of code by just selecting few when tiles and do tiles. That's it. Next is I need to talk about that Kodu, red Kodu, who is going to rescue the turtle. For that also, I think again, a lot of questing process. So here I have given the option to the player more control. I want the player to use keyboards. So I have given the option that when you select a keyboard and you select any arrows, the red Kodu is the one character which is going to rescue the turtle. It will start moving. And then it's up to you. Maybe you don't want to give more control to the user. Do not select keyboard. You can just give the option just like I have programmed the turtle. You can give the option like move, C or something, So here I'm just giving another scenario where you want the player to use keyboards and mouses. That's what makes the game more interesting. So second is you select on any keyboard. Here I have given the character A. So if the player clicks on the A on the keyboard, the red Kodu will grab it. If it's and if you want to drop it onto the C, you will select yes on the keyboard. So this is just my selection. As I said, there are so many options to select from just to make you understand. So here, this is how the red Kodu will rescue the turtle. Suppose the turtle is very slow and there are predators. This player will have to rescue the turtle. So it will have to press any arrow and I'll ask this red Kodu to move and press A to grab the turtle and press S on the keyboard to drop the turtle onto the sea. That's it. So that's the game. So that's how you rescue the turtle. Next, first I have programmed the turtle. Then I have programmed the red Kodu who is going to rescue the turtle. Now I'll have to program the predator. So I just program the birds. Please, when you see a turtle, move slowly, slowly, slowly. And then I have given another line of code. You just have to reach the turtle and I've put a time. Within 5 seconds, the bird can eat the turtle. For the rescuer, I have put the time 3 seconds. So if the player is fast enough, it can rescue the turtle. If he is very slow, within 5 seconds, the bird will eat the turtle. So that's the game. Hope it's clear. Or is it a little bit confusing? I'll be sharing my YouTube video so you can, just check it here and there. So that's all the end. So when all the turtles are saved, the game can end. So for every turtle saved, you can add a score. So the players will score points and it will be more interesting. That's all about the game. This is the assignment for you. I have not given you an assignment how to program. I have just given you a simple assignment. please go to your Kodu world. I hope you all have downloaded the Kodu. In a Word document, you will have to paste screenshots. So first is you'll have to click on New World, create a world, create a beautiful landscape. It can be, you can please plant trees, put mountains, carve rivers, construct buildings, make amazing landscape. So that you have to just put a screenshot of that. Next is populate that world, add in more characters. Please add objects and add as many characters as you can. And just give some instructions on what kind of game you, according to your subject or according to a particular concept you want to explain. You just can just design a simple lesson plan. I did not include programming the code, but if you're very clear about when and do, please do program a simple code. Maybe you can build a world, you can add a vehicle or some animal characters, and maybe just you can say, see this tree, let this animal, move forward or animal eat. A simple code. That's all about the assignment. But make sure that you will have to make a simple lesson plan, and you will have to add screenshots of your world and the characters you have added. And if you are very comfortable, please add programming code too. That's all. I know I'm extremely sorry. There are so many advanced features. It's a very simple game, but I think we need to break that myth that Kodu is only for computer teachers. Please do not discriminate Kodu. Please welcome Kodu into your classrooms. Whenever you're teaching any subject, any concept, keep this as in your back of your mind. Keep this as an option. I will have to use Kodu in my classroom. That will be an exciting activity for students to reinforce their concepts. I'm sure that as a teacher, as I said, I'll reiterate, you only need to know the basics of Kodu. You don't have to deep dive. You just need to have the basic features. Leave the Kodu into a student's hands. They will create magic. As I said, the last tool that changed world settings is a powerful tool. So many features are being added. So hopefully I was able to explain few concepts. I'm extremely sorry. There were a few glitches in between. There were few, showdowns over there. Apologies for that. And any queries, please feel free to ask. Or if you have any inputs, any ideas, there are other Kodu experts over there. I also would like to mention one teacher's name, Taruna Mongia. She is using Kodu, Minecraft in her classroom extensively. She was very kind enough to share a few links to the video lessons which her students have created. When I'm sending the assignment to you, I will be sharing those links. So that will help you to become more comfortable. Thanks a lot, Taruna Mongia. I would be sharing those links with other educators too. Any more queries other than that technical glitch? I think I was a little bit successful in, making you comfortable with Kodu. Please start using Kodu more in your classrooms. It is not a programming language. It's a very simple programming language, and it should not be limited only to computer classrooms. English teachers, social studies teachers, science teachers, history teachers, geography teachers, any subject teacher must start using this Kodu. You're actually depriving your students of a wonderful tool and an engaging learning tool. That's all. Thank you, Muthu. I think on the back end, my team members, Nishchay, Sahil, there were a few technical glitches. Thank you for the support. These team members are extremely helpful. They are the rescue team. So thank you, Muthu. Thank you, Sahil. I don't know if Sahil, he must have left midway. Thank you, Nishchay. Nishchay will be sharing the forms for attendance sheet. I'll be sharing my assignment hopefully by tomorrow morning. I'll also be uploading my YouTube video. I'll be sharing the Taruna Mongia's video lessons too. Thank you all. This is our last session in summer Pathshala. We loved your presence, your participation, your energy, enthusiasm was extremely contagious. Your perseverance. There were so many challenges in between accessing the assignments, downloading few tools. You were so patient and extremely perseverant. Big hats off to you all. We would really miss you all. Hopefully, we would have more sessions with you.
Seena, I
queries,
think a few
please?
teachers, yes, they have few questions. Hello? Seena, I think a few teachers have questions.
Yeah, you on the main page, anytime you can just click on escape. Someone has asked a question how to upload Kodu game. Anytime you can just you press the escape button, that will take you to the main page. In the main page, below that load new world, you have the option called export Kodu world. You just have to click on the export world and you can upload it and you can share it. Thanks. Sorry, I'm just apologizing because there were so many, it got disconnected in between and we had to rejoin. Apologies for that. But hope I was a little bit successful in making you comfortable with Kodu.
Ma'am, can you
Thank you.
repeat? Ma'am, can
Any
you
queries, please? We can just take another 3 minutes
repeat
to
the instructions for uploading
answer
the
those
file?
queries.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you please repeat how to upload the file, Kodu file?
Hello, Seena. Hello.